My message to President Trump is knock it off. Friends with the United States if the president reverses course on these disastrous tariff threats. If you decide to go down this road, if you, Mr. Trump, don't want them, the rest of the world does. America, Mr. Trump, will be isolated and alone.
Conservative candidate for Prime Minister Pierre Poilievre addressed President Donald Trump directly in an election rally after the U.S. unveiled 25% tariffs on auto imports. Saying America will be isolated and alone, Poilievre attacked Trump for creating a wedge between Canadians and their friends. He also unveiled a tax-free investment plan for domestic businesses and companies supporting Canadian jobs. If elected to power, the Conservatives will increase the annual TFSA contribution limit by $5,000 more yearly, with the extra money going into Canadian company investments. Poilievre also addressed the poll slump against Liberal PM Mark Carney. He also answered concerns about sounding like the U.S. president.
As Prime Minister, I will bring home the Canada First TFSA top-up. Here's how it works. You know, the previous Conservative government created the tax-free savings accounts that allow you to put aside up to $7,000 every single year. And then your growth is all tax-free. That won't change. What will change is that under my government, you will be allowed to contribute another $5,000 every single year, as long as that money is invested in Canadian companies. So this will bring billions of dollars of investment into Canadian companies who will then spend it on factories, equipment, tools, wages, and making our economy self-reliant and strong. Our economy has been starved of investment. In fact, Canadian workers get only 55 cents of investment for every dollar an American worker gets. The investment per worker in America is 28,000 American dollars. In Canada, it's about 15,000 American dollars. So the American worker has been getting more tools and more technology, and that's why our wages have been falling behind. We need to encourage investment in this country by changing the rules to make them fair, and not for the wealthy, not for the elites, but for the retail working class investors. This will bring money rushing back into Canadian businesses who will hire more people and pay more taxes in Canada. Mr. Carney sends jobs south, I'll bring them home. And unlike the Carney Liberals, we will put Canada first. After a lost Liberal decade, with costs and crime up and our economy down under the American thumb, Canada cannot afford a fourth Liberal term. Under a weak and out-of-touch leader like Mark Carney, we need a strong new Conservative government that will put Canada first for a change, boost Canadian investment, unleash Canadian resources, create Canadian jobs, and make us self-reliant and sovereign. As Prime Minister, most of all, I will restore the great Canadian promise that anyone from anywhere can achieve anything, where hard work gets you a great life on a safe street, protected by brave troops under a proud flag. I'm once again, like all Canadian leaders, forced to address yet another attack by President Trump against our economy. Here he goes again, attacking his closest neighbor and America's best friend, with new tariffs that will drive up the cost of living for American consumers and drive down American wages, while damaging a historic friendship, the best trading relationship in the world. My message to President Trump is knock it off. Stop attacking America's friends. Start trading so that we can once again become richer, stronger, and more secure on both sides of the border. That is how we will have the money for stronger military and stronger borders to secure our continent against real threats and real enemies. We will never be the 51st state, but we can once again be friends with the United States if the president reverses course on these disastrous tariff threats. But I have a further message for President Trump. If you decide to go down this road, this is what's going to happen. Yes, you'll do damage to us in the short term, but we will fight back and we will build back. Within 4 years of a new, strong Conservative government, Canada will be completely rebuilt. We will rebuild our economy. We will not be reliant on the U.S. anymore, and the Americans will have lost the greatest trading partner and friend they ever had. A Conservative government will build pipelines and LNG plants, aggressively promote mines and other resource infrastructure that has been blocked for the last 10 years. We'll have new overseas trading partners. We will knock down interprovincial barriers so that we can trade with ourselves. We will send our goods to our friends on other sides of the oceans of the world. We will cut taxes and speed up permits so that we can sell our oil, gas, mining, lumber, agriculture, fisheries, manufacturing, small businesses and large businesses alike. The world needs our resources and our expertise. If you, Mr. Trump, don't want them, the rest of the world does. Under a new Conservative government, we will put Canada first for a change. We will be a nation that is strong, self-reliant, standing on its own 2 feet so that we can stand up for ourselves and stand up to the Americans.
Your party had a 25-point lead in the polls in early January, and now every major pollster in the country says that you are trailing Mark Carney and the Liberals. What went wrong? What did you do wrong?
We'll wait for Canadians to make the choice on Election Day. And that choice will be this. After the lost Liberal decade of rising costs and crime and the economy down under America's thumb, do the Liberals deserve a 4th term in power? Or is it time to put Canada first for a change? With a new Conservative government, they will axe taxes, build homes, unleash resources, and bring home the jobs the Liberals have pushed abroad so that we can stand strong on our own 2 feet against the American threat. That is the choice that Canadians will have to make in the final analysis. Remember, the Liberals have the same ministers, the same MPs, the same strategists, and they're repeating the same promises that they've been making and breaking for 10 long years. We know the result. Here in BC, for example, Vancouver is the most expensive housing market in the entire world. In the entire North America, it's the 3rd most expensive in the entire world. It now takes 100%, almost 100% of pre-tax income for the average Vancouver home buyer to make monthly payments on the average home. That's mathematically impossible. And as Mr. Carney admitted, that was the case before President Trump ever brought in his tariffs. By electing the same Liberals who have weakened our economy and driven up costs and crime, those problems will only get worse. By contrast, we're presenting a real Canada First plan to turn things around. In addition to the Canada First TFSA top-up, we're going to take GST off new homes so that you can save up to $65,000 on the purchase of a new house. We'll incentivize municipalities to free up permits, speed up approvals, and cut taxes on buildings so we can add more homes. We're going to lock up the violent criminals with tough new laws that will make British Columbians safe again. And we're going to put our country first by approving the resource projects Liberals have held back for the last 10 years of the lost decade. That is the choice that Canadians will face, and I have full confidence that they will make the right one.
The campaign director for Ontario Premier Doug Ford, Corey Tonique, says you sound like Donald Trump. So if Conservatives are saying that you sound too much like Donald Trump, how can you possibly stand up to the U.S. president?
Well, I'm the only one who will stand up to the U.S. president. I see that the president wants the Liberals back in because after a decade, a lost Liberal decade, with costs and crime up, and the economy down under the American thumb, the president would love nothing more to keep the Liberals in power so that he can keep abusing our economy and taking advantage of Canada. The question Canadians will have to answer is whether they think the Liberals are owed a 4th mandate after they drove up costs and crime and weakened our economy, or whether it's time to put Canada first with a new Conservative government. They will axe taxes, green-light projects, build homes, bring home the jobs so that we can stand up to the Americans from a position of strength.